just going to put them here for you. Oh. These aren't sweets, you bastard. You'll have already seen the thumbnail, so you know exactly what I'm going to build, but I don't, because I'm building it now. This is going to be the top part, obviously with the spike. I flattened it off so that it'll sit nice and flush on there. Now I'm going to take this off, I'm going to drill a base, and then the reason why I put this spike on now is because I need to reference it so I can weld this threaded nut on the inside for the pole to slide into. So I need to drill a hole big enough in this for the pole to slide into. Then I can piece it together, ready to weld it up. I've removed the spike and I've just put a sacrificial bolt in place there, which is the same thread. The hole in there is 6mm, which threads over the top of the M6 bolt nicely, and that just holds the nut, the giant nut, in place, so I can reference everything together, and so I can finish this off without a big pole being welded in the way. You see what I'm saying? Not too long ago, a guy called Eric messaged me, and he writes a comic book called Scrimshaw. He's got a character in the comic book called Herman, who's a big Samoan guy, and he's got this big massive club. He sent me some reference pictures from the comic, and he wanted me to build it in real life, so that's why this is going to be oversized. But he also gave me some creative freedom on it, so I can build it, and then he'll draw this one into the next load of comic books. I think he's on volume 3 now. They're pretty cool comic books. I'll put a link to the comic books in the description as well. So now, let's get this welded up. Now this is cooled down, I can crack on with gluing. This is cooled down now, so I can crack on with welding the threaded rod inside the shaft. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drill some 8mm holes in the end of here, so when I put in there I can weld it in place, and then that should hold it in place nicely. I'm going to take this top point here across to the bottom of this point, and then all the spikes will go around in a spiral. Now I need to punch every single one of these. I've I've drilled all the main body holes now. I just can't get the top ones because obviously I'm using a Christmas tree bit. I need 9mm, so I've ordered that and it'll be here tomorrow. And what I've been doing is drilling in slightly so that these recess in. And they'll be nice and flush when I clip them. I know what you're thinking, it must be the next day because he's got his 9mm drill bit. Well no, I had a pack of 9mm drill bits from Abrax, obviously. So I've had to cancel my order. Finally got all these holes drilled perfectly. These ones are a bit of a nightmare because of the nuts in the way, but I've got them sorted. And now what I want to do is add this as a collar to the top, but I'm going to cut it on an angle somewhere. So I just need to work out how long I want it and then work out the angle. I'm going to cut the angle and then I think I'm going to grind the rest of it so it's like this, so it looks like a tooth. So now then. While I'm waiting for that to cool down, I've split this diamond drill bit thing. I made a trench club out of one of these a while back. I'll put the link to that video up there. So I've split this down, I've faced it off, but I now need to take some more meat off the inside of here so it slots on. The inside of this is 37 and the pole that I'm using is 38. So I need to take a mil off and then it'll be a nice tight fit like we all are. So if you remember, I added threaded rod to the end of the pipe so I could take it off, and this is exactly why. So now I can do the pommel part without the big ball on the end. No one likes a big ball in the way. And my idea for the pommel is this dome that I cut out, nothing goes to waste, is going to sit over this spike, and then I've got a little threaded collet which locks it in place, and then this will weld inside there. I've got the exact patina that I want on here. I want it sort of like a scuffed as if it's been used, so I had to try and go different directions with the grits, with different grits, so there's loads, rather than it just being one smooth. And now I need to put these little riv nuts in there. I just want to wrap the hand part of the handle with a bit of leather, probably about 8 inches, because everyone loves 8 inches, and the guy who wields this has got bigger hands than me, so 8 inches would look small in his hands, whereas 3 inches looks big in my hands, if you get my drift. Off camera I just put this in the lathe and put a blade to it to cut it flush, and now I'm going to add this little collar which I found somewhere because it looks cool. Now that the glue's all dried on the handle, I'm going to blacken my ball and shaft. I was originally just going to blacken the ball, but I feel like it should look nice with the shaft blackened as well. I've cleaned them all down with acetone, and then I've taped up the bits I don't want to blacken for a bit of contrast. I managed to find a bit of spray bottle. Stop watching me. Now all the twisted spikes are in and secure, it's time to put the brass spikes on, which are going to go on top and bottom. And what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to fill the inside of this with a foaming glue, because at the moment it's real hollow, so when you hit stuff, obviously it's going to make a tinging sound like it's hollow. And if I fill it with a foaming glue, it's going to take that away and deaden the sound, make it sound real heavy. The foaming glue's water activated, and obviously I can't spray the inside of it, so I've got one of these syringes, going to put it in, spray a little bit of water, shake it about. And I'll also use a syringe to inject the glue. I'm going to inject each one of these, and I'll put the spike back in there, and then that'll bond that spike in as well. But I need to mark the spikes so I know which ones I've done. The final spike.